Okay, so if you've seen Stranger Things Season 5, then you'll know we end with a big dangling mystery. Chances are, if you've clicked this video, then you've seen the show and know that Eleven's fate is left up in the air. In the series, we see her seemingly die, however, there's also the hope that she survived. The Duffer brothers have been tight-lipped about her fate and have said that it is up to the viewer. However, we're a YouTube channel that overanalyzes everything, and I thought we'd discuss the evidence, both for and against, and whether it's a happy ending or just a guy basically coping with how things happened and his girlfriend died. Some big old copium there. Earlier in the season, though, Eleven told Mike that he doesn't get to write the story and that this won't be one of his happy endings. Max also kinda shuts down the idea as well, but Mike basically says he chooses to believe good things can happen. Now in the scene, we see the gang captured by the military upon exiting the Upside Down. It's here that they're grabbed by Dr. K, who's been after 11 like the number 12 for the entire season. Thank you. The group then look about only to see her at the gateway, and after a final farewell with Mike, the explosives go off and destroy the Upside Down. In the scene, she basically gets Jonathan kented and disappears amongst the storm. The moment's framed as being a heroic sacrifice, with her remaining behind to seal the bridge. This means that the military will stop looking for her, and in the 18-month time jump, that does seem to be the case. We don't hear what happened to Dr. K, and everyone's seemingly let off scot-free for all their illegal activities. But yeah, because of this, K likely retired or had her funding ceased as the whole thing failed. She might have gone on to fight Terminators, I don't know. Beyond that though, right now her primary target's gone. Now this pragmatic outcome aligns with the show's themes of government conspiracy, as without Eleven, the program loses its need to exist. Thus, it reinforces Eleven's death as a narrative necessity to grant peace to her friends. Callie's fate is also tied to this as well. She wanted to remain with Eleven in the Upside Down, and her death's pretty explicit. After being shot by Akers, she does succumb to her wounds in her conversation with Eleven. This timeline is very, very crucial because the illusion theory hinges on Callie being there to create the decoy. Callie clearly dying before this will of course seal Eleven's fate for many. Beyond that, there's also the big question of how Mike knew about Callie. He didn't see her, Eleven didn't tell him what happened, and he shouldn't really know about her fate or if she was still alive. And look, yeah, this is a show where they explicitly state there's no water in the Upside Down, and then they come across a water tank there. So there is some inconsistencies in the writing in the same episode, but yeah, that's how things are. But both of these things can pretty much confirm that Eleven didn't make it out, and yeah, it's just a poor old guy coping who won't accept reality. The Duffer brothers have also emphasised that the characters find happiness in individualised ways, with Ross Duffer stating she lives on in their hearts, whether that's real or not. This echoes Eleven's arc of self-sacrifice, mirroring her near-deaths in the prior seasons. It's also something that many fans thought would happen, and yeah, lots of us guessed that she'd probably die in the finale. And hey, I was even saying to the team last week, I thought they might Batman it, and they did! Taken at face value though, the show seems to visually and thematically cement her death. The Dead Nation scene as it happens doesn't feature any nod to Callie or Eleven aware that she's even there. There's no other doorways opening, no one coming to grab her, and she gives a final farewell to Mike. There's no coded messages, and Eleven never comes back to take him out his misery. With the way things are left, Mike will just believe she's out there, but the two won't ever meet again. The way he imagines her is also exactly like what he described on Squawk. This is her going to waterfalls and getting a seemingly happy ending, which might be cope. Eagle-eyed viewers on Twitter even noticed that this location doesn't have a town off in the distance in real life, so there's definitely elements of Mike's imagination. You can totally view this as Mike's big coping mechanism to move on, and even the credits end by hinting this could all just be one of his games or one of his stories. So who knows what's real? And yes, Stranger Things obviously isn't real in general, but you know what I mean. Now on the flip side of this, I think the finale's ambiguity also means that it is in fact possible that Eleven did in fact survive. Though we saw Callie's death, we have to remember these are superpowered kids and that she'd only have to survive for about an hour after we see her. Mike's narration states Callie survived long enough to cast an illusion, and we see this playing out. Again, Mike hasn't been at this location, and yet it's exactly how it was in real life, including what Callie looked like. So this implies it's more than just his imagination and is playing in directly to what happened. Eleven is also shown visually at the waterfalls looking far different to how we've seen her before. Considering the rest of the flash forwards are framed as being what went down, we can take it that this is indeed what happened. Mike also constantly gets signals and signs seeming to hint that something's out there. Now mate, I'm gonna be honest, I remember scattered a grandparent's ashes once and a bag blew by and my family was like, oh, He's there watching when it was a bag. So look, this stuff can happen, mate, and you can interpret signals as being something divine when really they're not. But yeah, Mike gets one at the bench and then one at the graduation. The speaker glitch could be interpreted as Eleven's psychic interference, and she has caused these things with radios in the past. Even in the D&D scene closing out the episode, the group's game mirrors their adventure with hints of Eleven's character resurrecting ambiguously, which again ties into the show's meta-narrative. These Easter eggs align with Stranger Things' narrative tradition of foreshadowing things like Will's zombie boy moniker, which predicted the resurrections. There have also been theories that psychic powers could linger or be precast rather than needing to be done in the moment. So Callie may have even sent this kind of spell out knowing it could be used as a backup. She obviously had that final conversation with Elle and has been saying throughout the season that, yeah, you're going to have to die if you want people to leave you alone. The biggest question is why Eleven would allow her friends to believe that she's dead, but if they all saw it, it could close the case and keep them from danger. Coming back will just cause more issues and make it so people still hunt them. Thematically as well, everyone basically gets a happy ending except her and, well, Callie, and even Hopper's speech sets up how she deserves it. She was made a lab rat and then grew from this, so the death could undercut her growth. Ultimately though, I think the debate will rage on forever, with some seeing Mike's story as denial. However, I think basically the entire ending boils down to what you as a viewer choose. Do you believe, or are you a bit more cynical? Stranger Things ends with Eleven's fate deliberately ambiguous, but it's not so much about the characters, but more about us. Whatever you decide kind of shows what person you are, and to be honest, even I've gone back and forth over it since I saw it. Initially, I wanted to believe, but then I thought about all the evidence that I've laid out in this video. In the end though, I did kind of settle back on thinking she survived and that things had more of a happy ending. In the end though, Mike was told he didn't get to write the story and this final thread is left up to us. We also know there's a spin-off coming as well, which might clear things up on where they leave things off. Though the Duffers have said it'll be new characters in a new location, I do wonder if this is going to be where Eleven's at. Alternatively, we could pick up with the kids we see in the game at the end, and they might go on to have their own story to tell as well. As for Eleven, this duality ensures her story lingers on, and it will forever invite debate, discussion, and theory times about whether she's alive or not. The show tells us she's alive in our hearts though, and that's what really matters. Oh. But yeah, that's enough of me talking. I hope this gave you some more weight for your argument and how you see it. I choose to believe that she's alive, so if you want that answer from me, that's what I choose right now. But yeah, maybe tomorrow, when we've had a bad day, I'll be like, no, she's dead, I hate the world. But yeah, please drop a like on the video and drop a comment with all your thoughts below. If you want to follow us on Instagram as well and keep up to date with what we're doing, then make sure you check us out at Heavy Spoilers. I am also just bashing out this video very quickly. I went to sleep and then woke up and was like, I've got to make another video because I've got a lot of stuff to talk about. So if you want to watch a more in-depth breakdown, that'll be on the screen right now. If not though, all the best for 2026. Thank you so much for all your support in 2025. It really means a lot to me. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you on the next one. With that out of the way though, thank you for watching this video. I've been your host Paul. You've been the best. I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.